Hello everybody and welcome to your Manchester United versus Newcastle United preview. It's a big game. It's hard to think that the last time we played, the transfer window was still open. That car crash at least is now over. And we go into a massive game for Manchester United. So much resting on this game. And let's not forget, Newcastle have got their part to play. They beat us at St James's Park last season. They've got 7 points from this season. We've only got 3. How will Steve Bruce set them up against us? Will they have a go at a vulnerable Manchester United side, or will they go a little bit more defensive? We'll be talking about that. But big decisions for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Big decisions for you as well. What would you do? There are people out there that think, there's no drama. Let's just go with the same team that he always picks. Let's do that. And others are like, well, he's got to make wholesale changes. His job is in jeopardy, whether he likes that or not. Another loss against a team that's not that good would really ramp the pressure up on him ahead of harder games to come with PSG, Chelsea, Leipzig and Arsenal. This is a game that Manchester United have got to win. Can he put the trust and faith in the likes of Maguire and Pogba, who he's already given chances to? Or is it time to turn a new page and give other players a go in this side? Well, look, Newcastle, starting off with Newcastle, very quick glimpse into how they play. 4-4-2 is pretty much the way they've been playing, with Shelvey and Hayden central. And then Hendrick on the right, St Maximin, who is the player to watch on the left, up against Wan-Bissaka. And then a front two of Linton and Callum Wilson, who's come into the side. Now, they played this against Brighton. They lost 3-0 at home. It was quite naive. Brighton took advantage of it. They played it away to West Ham on the opening day and they won 2-0. And they played it against Burnley just before the break and they won 3-1 at St James's Park. They played a 5-4-1 against Spurs where they got the 1-1 draw. And that's the only time I've watched Newcastle for the full game. And they weren't that impressive. So is Steve Bruce going to go with that 5-4-1, which is quite... Man United will have a lot of possession in this game. Newcastle are not a team, however they set up, that have loads of possession of the ball. But what they can be is effective and they do create chances. I think Steve Bruce will go 4-4-2. I think it's a risk, but I think he will do that because I think that's the way to hurt Manchester United. But then another part of me thinks, well, we'll have a lot of the ball. He'll try and hit us on the break like he did before. And I think if he does, that could play into our hands because as you can see, that's my team on the left. That's how I would line up for Manchester United. I think the 4-3-3 or the 4-1-2, the system we normally play with Matic, Pogba, Bruno, and then Martial, Greenwood, and Rashford, he can't do that. I'm not saying he won't do that, but he can't do that. He hasn't got Martial. He hasn't got Cavani. So to play those three forwards, he's basically missing out on a Van der Beek or a Pogba, because to play the three forwards, he's going to have to play Greenwood, Rashford, and Ighalo or Lingard or Dan James. And neither of those three players, for me, justify a starting position ahead of Donny Van der Beek. So to me, his normal formation, he can't play it. If he does play it, he's benching a good player to bring a player in who I don't think deserves to start. So I think we need to change the way we're going to play. So I think the diamond is the way to go. Now, I'm not a big fan of the diamond. He played it against Everton last year. We did get a draw. Bruno was the false 9. Martial and Greenwood with the front 2, but they ended up being wing backs. It really went wrong. But I don't think the midfield 4 was sufficient. As I recall, I think Mata might have played. I think McTominay played. I certainly think Fred played as well. I'm not sure Pogba played. I don't think Pogba would have played. So you can put out a diamond now of Matic, Pogba, Van der Beek and Bruno. And I think that is the way to go in this game. Give Bruno licence to be the false 9. Rashford's used to playing left-sided and Greenwood is used to playing right-sided. I think the problem with the diamond against Everton was that Martial had to go left-sided and he's used to playing very centrally now. And it didn't work. And I don't think the midfield had the quality. But against Newcastle, I think this is the way that you solve the team without having to drop Pogba, but also you can play Van der Beek, you can also play Bruno, and you can play Matic. And I would go with the diamond. It also allows Telles to get forward with his width. And obviously Wan-Bissaka, I think, is going to be dealing with St Maximin. So whether he can get forward or back or not, I don't know. But Greenwood can drift right and Rashford can drift left, which they are used to doing that. And it gives Bruno more freedom to play higher up the pitch. So that's how I would line up against Newcastle. Of course, you'll see what I was talking about this morning. No Harry Maguire for me. Would I drop anybody else? Look, to be honest with you, I feel that more than Harry Maguire needs to be dropped for this game. We lost 6-1. That people contributed to that. And look, Maguire's got to be dropped for various reasons. I've been very consistent on that. I know some people are saying now's the time to stand by him. I feel I am standing by him, and I feel many of us are standing by him. To me, playing him in this situation is causing him more problems and Manchester United more problems. We've tried it. It hasn't worked. It would be, in a footballing sense, I think it would be suicidal in a footballing sense to play Harry Maguire in this game. Because if he has a bad game, Ollie, and I mean suicidal from Ollie's point of view in relation to his career at Manchester United, because if Maguire plays on Saturday night and he's the captain and we lose and he plays badly, everybody is going to say, well, you shouldn't have picked him. And then the easiest and correct decision is to not pick him in this game. And look, Lindelof and Bailly, are they the dream centre-backs? No. But has Maguire and Bailly worked? Has Maguire and Lindelof worked? No. And it's not been working. As many of you have said, this is not really to do with the Greece incident. He wasn't playing well before. We've not defended well for a long time. We've got 5 centre-backs over the age of 23 in Lindelof, Bailly, Rojo, Jones and Maguire. They're on a combined £600,000 a week, and not one of them are a centre-back that's good enough to play in a title-winning side. That's a shambles from Manchester United. This is why we needed a centre-back, but this is why we didn't get a centre-back, because we've got so many average to poor centre-backs in that squad. Now, to me, Maguire is arguably the best of those 5, but he's not at the moment, and you've got to go on form. So you've got to give another chance to somebody else. Twansebe's not ready. Mengi would be a huge risk, but I would go Lindelof and Bailly. I really would. I think that's the way to go. Would I drop Pogba? You know what? Because we're playing a diamond, no. You could play Fred. You could play Fred where Pogba is and move Van der Beek to the right and play Fred to the left. I'd be happy to do that. I'm not convinced that Paul Pogba's fit. I think Didier Deschamps has hinted at that. And if Pogba has a performance like he did against Brighton or Crystal Palace or Spurs, then we will struggle as much as we would with Maguire. So, look, if Pogba's on the bench, I've got no problem with that. He was at fault for 2 of the goals against Spurs, and maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should be looking to do that. It's only because I don't even think Ole's going to drop Maguire, let alone Pogba. But if he did, I would support it. I think it would show leadership, and I think changes should be made from a team that lost 6-1. So look, if people want to leave Pogba out, that's fine. But I think if we're going to play this diamond team, then that's how I would line up. But ultimately, it's not just about me. I think Ollie's got 2 options he can go with. He could play the back 5. A lot of people think he'll play the back 5. I've just changed it there. You'd see Telles making his debut as the left wing back. Luke Shaw would be the left centre back. I think he would pick Maguire, Eric Bailly and Wan-Bissaka. This is how Ollie would line up. For me, I still wouldn't pick Maguire in a back 5. I'd play Lindelof. You could even play McTominay if you wanted to. I would not pick Maguire. Then it would be Matic, Bruno and Pogba, and then it would still be the front 2 of Rashford and Greenwood, which would mean Van der Beek misses out in a 5-3-2. And Donny van der Beek deserves to start for me. So unless you're going to play the 5, I mean, look, the 5-3-2 is an opportunity to not play Pogba and not play Maguire. It is, but I think if Ollie goes with the 5-3-2, he's going to go with that team. And to me, I don't know what other people think, but I think it would be a real injustice for Donny van der Beek not to start against Newcastle. Bruno's got to start. Bruno's the leader in the team. But Donny van der Beek has got to start. We've lost 2 of our first 3 games. Our midfield has been bossed in all of those games. And he is a new signing for £35 million who is absolutely deserving of a start. I mean, Van der Beek must start. That he's got to start. He has to start. But if we play a 5-3-2, he probably wouldn't. The other option Ollie's got, which is pretty much the same as what my option was, to be fair, is to go with the diamond again. But I think he'll pick Maguire. I think he will pick Maguire. But it's 1 player difference to mine. So I mean, look, is Ollie going to go with the diamond or the back 5? I don't think he can go with the 4-3-3, like I said. What do you think? I think he's going to go with the back 5 because I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has shown that when the going gets tough, he goes to a back 5. I don't like the back 5. I do not like the back 5. It's too defensive. You lose a midfielder or an attacker for a defender. And if I show you that back 5 again, why I don't like it is all right, Luke Shaw's a good left-sided centre-back, but you lose a midfielder or an attacker. And we don't have... Why play a back 5 where you play 3 centre-backs when we haven't got a system good enough to play 2 centre-backs? So playing 3 of them just because... I mean, at the end of the day, it's cowardly, isn't it? It's defensive. Going to a back 5 is about, I don't trust 2 centre-backs, so I'm going to go with safety in numbers and 3, which means we lose an attacking element. So I don't want to see the back 5. I think we will see the back 5. I'd like to see the diamond. I think Donny van der Beek's got to start, and I would like to see us with that diamond, I think we could really cause teams problems. But will he do it? I'm not so sure. How do I think this game's going to go? Well, look, get your score predictions in. I want to read the comments today. I mean, I always do anyway, but I really want to read the comments today on what you would do. I'm saying Maguire has to be dropped. And I think that if it's Van der Beek or Pogba, it's Van der Beek for me. But I think a system can be generated to play both, and that's the diamond. I just don't think he'll go with a diamond. I think he'll go with a back five, in which case he's got to drop Pogba for Van der Beek because he can only play three midfielders. And Matic has got to play as the CDM. So for me, the two players that I would drop are Harry Maguire, and if he doesn't play the diamond, Paul Pogba. I think it sends the right statement out. You know, we did lose 6-1. They've both massively underperformed for different reasons. Harry Maguire's got a reason. Paul Pogba's got a reason. Paul Pogba, for me, it's match fitness. But I think as a manager of Manchester United, you've got to send the right message out. This is a huge game for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's got to win it. I predict we are going to win it. I'm going to predict we're going to win it 2-1. But I don't think it's going to be easy. I think the team has already dropped its head, as we've seen recently. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I can't wait for his press conference tomorrow morning. He has got to come out as a leader of Manchester United. And I believe he is. I believe behind closed doors he is and has got a backbone and a nasty side to him. And he needs to get that across because the nicely approach at this point is not it. These players need to be performing way better than they have in the first three games. Yes, it's massively disappointing that we didn't sign players. Yes, it's massively disappointing that we didn't get the players that we wanted. And yes, all our rivals around us, from bloody Everton to Leicester to Wolves to Arsenal to Spurs, have all had a better transfer window than us. But that is the situation. That is the card you've been dealt. We've still got players not playing well enough in a Manchester United shirt. And the manager cannot sit there and go, oh, sympathy. That it's not down to them. It's down to, external circumstances. These players need to perform. Cavani's going to be back soon, ready soon. Martial will be back again in the Champions League. We can mix and change things up. And that's what he needs to do. He needs to send a team out that's hungry. And a large part of me was thinking about this week, and I don't know what people think, but I was even thinking, you know what? Scott McTominay, Fred, these are players that if you send them out, you know what you're going to get with them. They will be consistent. They will go and absolutely run themselves into the ground. Some other players don't necessarily do that. So it's important. We've had the international break. A lot of people have played. A lot of people have had 2 weeks of training. We can't use the lack of fitness now. We can't go into the Newcastle game and half an hour in go, God, we look way off the pace again. That excuse is not going to work. And ultimately, for me, this game is on Solskjaer. It's on the team he picks, it's on the tactics he picks, it's on the formation he picks, and it's on the result. And we've got to go and win this game. And look, we've not got a great record there. They'll be up for it. Callum Wilson, Joe Linton, if Andy Carroll plays, St Maximum, Jamal Lewis is a good left back. They are going to be at us. They're going to be at us. And look, they might not have the Newcastle Geordie crowd, but they've definitely got confidence. And look, if they beat us, the sad thing is, if Newcastle beat us, they've got 10 points and we're on 3. We're 7 points off Newcastle after 4 games. And okay, we've got a game in hand, but if you can't go to Newcastle and win, then what is this team on about? So it's a huge game. And there's bigger games to come, of course there is. PSG and Chelsea a few days afterwards. But this game is huge. I know a lot of people think it's going to be a draw, but we've got to win. Look at the games we've got coming after this. We have got to win. This game is the game for me where you look at it and you go, this is the catalyst. Is this the catalyst for good or is it the catalyst for bad? And look, I don't want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to be sat there on Sunday night after losing again because he's gone with the status quo. He's gone with the same players. He's trusted the same players. He's got to move it about. If he wants to keep his job, and I want him to keep his job, he's got to go out and he's got to put the team out and he's got to send a message. And I tell you what, 7 o'clock on Saturday night when that team news comes out, I think that's going to be the biggest reaction we've had since the transfer window closed, because he's got to get that right and he's got to send the message out. And for me, it's the selections, it's who he leaves out, and it's the formation he goes with. And I think that this is the team he will go with. I think he'll go with the back five, and I think we'll see Maguire and Pogba playing. But this is the team that I would go with whenever it bloody loads up. Come on. So that's how I think he's going to go. But the team I would go with has to have Van der Beek in it. And I would play Lindelof over Maguire. And people have been saying, wow, Andy Carroll. Andy Carroll doesn't start for Newcastle. It'll be Linton and Wilson, or it'll be Wilson up front on his own. So pace is probably more of a problem. You know what? As I said this morning, even if Andy Carroll did start and Harry Maguire's good in the air, would you trust Harry Maguire in the mindset that he's in at the moment not to get dominated by Andy Carroll? Andy Carroll's probably one of the best players in the air in the league. And I think he'd relish playing against Maguire at the moment, who's not quite at the races. So look, I'm going to go with the Manchester United win 2-1. I think Newcastle will be a handful. I think other areas of the pitch that are going to be interesting is Wan-Bissaka against St Maximin. Look, Wan-Bissaka showed for 8 months what a great right back he is. After lockdown up until now, he's shown how bad he can be. This game for me is a bit like Manchester United. It's a battle where he can, if he wins it, the confidence he'll take into the rest of the season will be huge because he's up against a really good player. If he loses that battle, then we've got a really big problem with Wan-Bissaka. So all eyes on Wan-Bissaka for that. We've not even mentioned Telles. I think Telles will make his debut at left back. He's played 2 games for Brazil. I know he's not trained with the squad yet, and I know that Ollie likes Luke Shaw, but I think he's going to find a place for Luke Shaw in a back 5, unfortunately. But I think Telles will start, and I think we need whether he needs to start Telles because that team's needs something. I mean, even Luke Shaw himself spoke about this week. Bruno Fernandes gave the team some momentum, and I think Telles needs to play to give that. Will Pellistri make the bench? I don't know. But look, what I would say is, and look, if you agree with me, smash a like on the video. Van der Beek has to start. He has to start. It would be an injustice if he doesn't start. And look, I believe some players should be dropped. I do, but Van der Beek's got to start. And to do that, he's going to have to drop Pogba, or he's going to have to go with the diamond. And I don't mind which one he goes with. I'd rather he went with the diamond because I don't want to see a back 5. But I think we will see a back 5, and I think that will be with Maguire starting because he'll think, well, if I give 2 more centre-backs next to Harry, it gives him a security blanket. And it goes back to what I've said. Why are we protecting our captain? If he's not good enough to play in a back 4, why are we going to a back 5? I don't understand it. We're Manchester United, not Charity United. So look, big pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is what he's paid for. This is what I want him to be manager for. And I think if he can send a team out on Saturday night that revitalises this fan base. He can send a message out on Saturday night that makes us absolutely sure that he is the manager of Manchester United and that he's not going to put up with poor performances. Will he do it, or will he make, like the Ollie Outers say, will he just stick with the players that he shouldn't stick with and not really make any big decisions? And look, if he's going to be Manchester United manager and he's going to be a successful one and he wants to be a consistent one, you've got to make the big decisions, and there's no more bigger decision to make than there is against Newcastle on Saturday. Thanks everyone for watching. Ultimately, very excited about it. These are the games we want to see. Can't wait to see the PSG and the Chelsea games afterwards and all those to come. But it starts with Newcastle on Saturday. The players need to be up for it, and Ollie needs to send the right message out. I believe he can. Whether he will or not, we'll wait and see. Thanks for watching. Back again tonight as per usual. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll speak to you all soon.